Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. And today guys, I have the back glass. And of course, this is the back glass for my S22. We recently changed the screen out. It's up now and running, minus some little bugs. And of course, I discussed that in other videos. So for today guys, I'm going to show you how to change the back glass itself. So as you can see here, this is my current back glass. So as you can also see, the back glass is actually broken and damaged, all right? So the frame was changed, so it came with the screen and the frame. And of course, I'm using the old back glass, but I'm gonna change this out today. So I'm gonna show you to change the black back glass of the S22 Ultra. All right, so I went with the same color to make sure it matches. All right, so this is the tutorial on how to change the back glass. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna look at the replacement that we got. So the replacement is here, and we're just going to switch out this back, and the back is from my older one. All right, so we went with this back glass, which is from Chovy Wits, and of course here you go, and you can see the product here, and this is what it comes with. And as you can see here, it breaks down the product, and it comes different colors. You can actually choose the color that you want. So we went with the burgundy, and this is the new back glass. As you see here, it says S22 Ultra back glass, and it's burgundy. All right, so we're gonna open this up. It's brand new, so I want to see how well it compares to the original. All right, I purchased this with my own money. It's not supported, so just in case you wanted a back glass and you wanted one that is good. Now this one came with some extras, so you get this loop so you don't drop it. You get a tool set, so you get a opening tool. They're a little bit small, but they'll work. There's some screws, screwdrivers, a flathead, and of course some different bits. There's a tool here to actually help with the opening, and a pick. All right, we're gonna place these here, and along with that we have the cleaning tool that wets dry wipe plus an elastic band so it can dry. And what I like again is that we also get this thing that's almost like a razor blade. All right, and this opening tool. All right, so it's very flat and a nice addition you can keep for later on use. All right, so here is the back glass itself. All right, so it comes very well protected in this foam. So I'm gonna open this up so it slides right out. All right, so you can see here. And one thing I like about this particular one, as we can see here, it comes with the Samsung logo. All right, and they were nice enough to include also the mirrors. So if you want, you can switch these out for your older mirrors, or you can get the new ones. All right, so you can see as well, it comes with adhesive. So it comes with a nice backing and adhesive, and of course the nice color. All right, so this will go very well with the color of this frame. I can finally switch out this back. So let's get straight into the disassembly and show you how to install the back on the S22 Ultra. Alright guys, so overall it's a great set. Love that it comes with the extra stuff here, and you can compare it to my old back glass. Alright, so I'm going to remove my older back glass, and in order to do this guys, you can actually use a blow dryer, or of course a heat gun, and you can apply heat towards the edges here. Then we can use the pick to actually open this up. All right, we can also use the suction cup to lift and get it actually into the grooves. All right, this one was broken the last time we opened this up, but at least we get to do a tutorial. So we're gonna get this pick here, and I'm gonna get the tool. You can also use some 90% or higher isopropanol alcohol as soon as you open the gap and actually get it in there. All right, so we're gonna get our pick, which is this flat one, and I don't think I need to apply any heat. All right guys, so you're gonna get your heat gun. Here I have a heat gun that I actually use, and you can use a hair dryer as well, and you're gonna heat. Remember, I am going to show you so you can actually heat this up, heat the edges, especially because you're gonna open. And remember not to overheat. The hair dryer or the heat gun is gonna actually heat it up, so do not overly heat. Make sure it's warm enough to melt the glue. If you have the 90% isopropyl alcohol, it will actually not need to heat. All right, so as soon as you start to do that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get the suction cup tool, and depending on the quality, and you can go ahead and press, and you can start. And I'm just demonstrating here what you would actually do. Now the quality of this one is not very good, but maybe you can have, and you can start pulling, and as soon as you get a opening, you're gonna stick the pick inside. All right, so try to lift while the glue is loose, then try to get the pick on the inside, and as soon as you get the pick on the inside edge, go ahead and run it along here, along the side. Then you can run it along the edges, and of course go all the way around. It should start separating. Make sure you get all of the edges. And this one was easy to do because it's already loose, because this one, the back is broken. So I'm showing you what to do. And as soon as it separates, you should have the separation. All right. Now the cool thing is that if you want, this one is already pre-loosened. So in terms of the glue here, you can take the heat gun or you can take the heat gun and heat this section here, and as soon as it's sufficiently warm, this will separate. All right, it has its own glue, especially if your backing comes without these as this one. So this one is a very nice one as it comes with the glass. All right, so the glass will separate, and you can actually install this in the new one. All right, so here you go. So you can always put this in the new one. Mine doesn't need it, so what I'm gonna do now, you can see the insides of the device here. Be careful. So next we're going to install a new back. As for this tool, it can actually be used in cases where the back doesn't want to open. It's very thin, so you can actually use it as well to get into the grooves. It's much better than these picks that will tend to break. And of course you won't need the screwdrivers. You can put those aside. And here they included the wet wipes and so on. That's to clean up after. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get the back. We're gonna make sure that it fits so we can actually mock it up. So as you can see, it does fit and it should not give any issues. So next that I know that it fits, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find the tab. So there's a tab on the back here to remove this plastic. We're gonna do that last, and we're gonna remove this plastic here. All right, I'll link this as well just in case you would want it, because it's a very nice one. It comes with everything. All right, so as you can see here, it's off, and we can compare it to the older back. So as you can see, it's a 1-to-1 copy. It's very, very nice, very high quality. All right, almost looks just as the original. All right, so we're gonna go now and we're gonna slide the back on. We're gonna align it. All right, so it's best to align from the top. So I'm going to align again from the top. So match the top first. Then once the top is aligned, simply secure the back. Also guys, before you put on the back, there's also these plastics. So make sure that you get at them. So remove them. So they are protecting the lens. So make sure that you actually take them off. And they can be easy to miss. All right, so we're gonna remove all of them. All right, so these were to protect the innards, to make sure that the lenses were not messed up. And also there's a sensor right here as well. Make sure to remove it and place it over onto the new display. So make sure that everything matches. So this will have to be removed. You can also eat it and remove it. All right, so the sensor, it removes easily. You're gonna place this over onto the new back. All right, so it simply snaps into place. So simply place it back on. All right, so it's on. Everything is off. Make sure to always double check your work. And we can go ahead, start reconnecting from the top, then seal the edges. All right, so we're gonna connect and make sure the edges are on, make sure everything sticks into place. If you make an error in terms of placing it on, find a gap and then simply remove it and then double check all your work. Make sure that the edges are snug and everything is in place. All right, so here the rubber bands come into play. So there are 3 of them. So you're gonna secure each quartile. So 1 is right here. Make sure that you double it. So that's 1. It will keep the tension. So do the end here to keep it in place so it can actually dry. We're gonna do the middle. All right, guys, so this is what it's gonna look like for a while. So what you want to do in this case is allow it to dry. Make sure that you double check the edges, and of course make sure everything is working in terms of the touch and the sensors at the back in terms of the cameras. Once you check all of those and you seal everything up, give it say 15 to 30 minutes or longer, and then we can actually remove the elastic bands. Alright guys, so the process is finished and of course it's okay. So in terms of the back, it tends to take a while to stick, so the elastic bands, you tend to have to run them this way and that way as well. If you have a section that keeps lifting, you can actually use the heat gun or a hair dryer to heat it a bit to make sure that it loosens the glue. Then you can actually stick it. For stubborn areas, you'll have to actually get a clamp or something to hold it down. The elastic bands can work as a cheap alternative and a quick solution, but of course the back tends to take time to dry, so I suggest that you make sure that the bezel is clean, and of course make sure that it sticks. Try to stick it in one go, and of course when you finish it should adhere. Now there are sometimes some little stubborn parts, right? So sometimes there are little stubborn parts, but if you keep at it, it should work. You can always reinforce with some other form of adhesive just in case it's needed. All right, so this is good enough for me, and it's all in place okay. All right, so of course this one is finished. So overall in terms of this package, I like the accessories, so they give lots and lots of accessories. And of course the box, it comes well protected, so to prevent shattering with this material that's on the inside. So overall I give this a for 8 out of 10, and of course I think you won't find another brand that gives you everything in the box. Some will leave out the lens, so I give it a 8 out of 10. And of course it could be a 8.5, depends. And the only reason is because one, it didn't come with instructions inside of the box just in case somebody need that, and of course the overall adhesive that's included and so on. All right, so it's good that it was pre-installed, but maybe that's just me, so I'll give it a 8.5. It might be a little higher, but it's depending on the situation overall and the experience, especially with others, just in case. So we'd have to look at how it behave with others. So 8.5 or a little bit higher. So that's where I'm going to leave it. So do hope if in case you need any help or you have any questions, you can ask about this device. All right, so this one is up and running again, and it looks like a brand new device with the screen change, the back glass change, and now the S22 Ultra as a new lease on life. All right, so I hope this was helpful, and see you in the next one, guys. Bye.